Hey friends, first vlog being put up, so I hope you like it.
At 29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set the rewind. And
Okay, so I was trying to get ready. She was crying. Well, not crying, but she was fussy. And now she's out. But literally, I was sitting here while I was doing my hair, doing this.
just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again.
Yes. Hi. Are you so cute? Are you so cute? Yes, girl. What are you going to wear today? Let's go check your closet. So her and her brother have to share a room because we have 4 bedrooms and we have teenage girls. So this is her half of the closet and this is Janie's half of the closet. She obviously has more clothes, but that's because, you know, babies go through clothes fast. So, hi baby.
Hi, Daddy.
Yeah? You getting ready to go to school?
Uh-huh.
It's kind of stormy today, so I think we can get away with this outfit. What do you think? Yeah? I think yes. Okay. Oh, hold on, sweet girl. I'm coming. Tonight we're gonna have pot roast for dinner. So I have my Instant Pot out because I don't have a slow cooker. At one point I had 2 crock pots and this, and over the past like 4 months, so my daughter, who her chore is to do the dishes, she dropped the crock when she was washing dishes and broke it for my biggest crock pot. And then my other one, it has like a digital dial on it, and for some reason the when you turn it on, it just switches right back to off. So the electronics in that one broke. So luckily I have an Instant Pot that can do can slow cook, obviously, and so that's what I've been doing all of my crock pot stuff in, because if you know me, I love doing crock pot meals. John's parents came out when we had Emmy, and he brought us a whole bunch of meat, and so that's where this particular roast is coming from, which I think it still has some of the bone in it, but that's okay. We can work on that. Anyway, so I put the roast in, and then I pour this Kinder's stew seasoning over it, and then I just pour a can of beef broth in it and cook it on low for 8 hours, and then it's perfect. I don't put my vegetables in here. I'm actually gonna lay this down. It's gonna stand there. Oh, there we go. I don't put my vegetables in with my roast because this makes a really good gravy, and so I just make mashed potatoes, and then we have the roast and the mashed potatoes, and it's really good. It turns out really good usually, and it smells so good because it cooks all day. So yeah, that's how I make my pot roast. So we'll check on that in about 8 hours. So I'm gonna hit, where is it? Slow cook, and I'm gonna increase the time to 8 hours. And the temperature is not wanting to, there we go. It's low, and then hit start, and now it's gonna cook. These are dishes, but if I have time during the day, I try and help unload the dishwasher, and that way we can reload it as the day goes on. And all she's gotta do when she gets home is then finish loading it and wash dishwasher, which there's certain things that we don't wash that they say they're dishwasher safe, but I still don't want to do it that way. Emme's giving me a run for my money today, guys. She's she didn't want to be put down, which is fine. She, like I said this morning, she was fussing while I was getting my makeup and stuff on, and then she decided to fall asleep right as I was done, but I was able to bounce her in the bouncer, so that's probably why. I will say, if you are pregnant or you just had a baby and you don't have some kind of baby wearing device, you need to get one. They're amazing if you have a baby that doesn't like to be put down. She doesn't mind being put down too much. Jamie was not that way. Jamie wanted to be held all the time. She also doesn't like the swing too much. I was able to get her in it yesterday to do some yoga, and that was the longest she'd ever stayed in it, and I think it's just that, like, I finally found a setting maybe she liked. I don't know. But usually we put her in that thing and she isn't interested, does not want to be in there. So that was different because we had a different kind of swing with Jamie. We had the one that like actually is a swing, not just like a thing that like moves him up and down. And he stayed in that thing. That was part of the only way I survived, because you can have, there are two types of babies, the babies that sleep and the babies that don't. And I firmly believe, like, I'm in this Facebook group with these moms that are older, and some people start talking about sleep training, and other people are like, how could you sleep train your baby? That's so mean. How could you just let them cry? They're not meant to sleep on their own. Yep, you're right. You know what? They are not really meant to sleep completely by themselves. But once you get to 12 months and you've had no sleep, something's got to change, because here's what I will tell you. A baby who's, having to learn to sleep on their own is a lot better than a baby whose mom is so out of it that she can't drive safely. Like, driving tired is more dangerous than driving drunk a lot of the time. So this baby sleeps. She sleeps. I didn't understand before because I'd only had one other baby and he did not sleep. And I was just like, how am I supposed to get through this? Like, how am I supposed to survive not sleeping? Now with him, we didn't sleep train him until he was a year old, but that was partially because when he was about 6 months, we found out we were going to be moving. And so we had kind of like dabbled in the sleep training thing. I had purchased the taking care of babies sleep classes, and we had been doing like the principles of that mostly. And so he would make it through the first half of the night. And then I would just end up putting him in bed with me, which a lot of people, I think, who are anti-sleep training are also willing to co-sleep, which is why they can make it so much longer. So the thing with being a first-time mom, though, is everybody terrifies you by telling you that you can't co-sleep. And so you're like, well, I can't put this baby in the bed with me, and he doesn't want to sleep. And if I try to nurse while I'm laying on my side, I'm going to fall asleep. It's just, there's not, all this advice that they give you isn't practical, And so everybody's got to find their own way. And man, if you're a person that, especially if you have a full-time job and your baby is not sleeping, do what you got to do, And if like with her, we have a little co-sleeper that's in the bed. I can show you guys later, but that's where she sleeps. And so we feel safe with that because she's not like just sitting in the bed with us. She's in her own container on the bed. And that's kind of how she sleeps. But I'll tell you, sometimes there's nights when like John's in there with me, and we've got to, he's got to get up in the morning. He's not back at work yet, but he will be soon. And she's grunting because she's processing some kind of gas or something, and I know if I hold her, she'll stop, because so I get up in the middle of the night and move to a chair that we have in our room to nurse her. I don't nurse her in the bed. And if I'm sitting in the chair and she falls asleep, she'll be quiet as a little church mouse. The minute I put her back in that bassinet co-sleeper thing for her to sleep, she's grunting and making all kinds of noise. And so I know, like, hey, if I pull her out of bed, if I pull her next to me and I, snuggle her, she's going to be quiet and she's going to go to sleep. And then everybody else in the room is going to be able to get some sleep. And so there are times when, I do that. But I've also heard some research, and you do your own research, heard some research that indicated if you are exclusively breastfeeding, which I am, your sleep cycle is altered to be more aware when you sleep with the baby. Like you're asleep, but you're not like dead to the world asleep. And so it's a little bit safer if you're exclusively breastfeeding to co-sleep. If you're formula feeding, my understanding is that is not the same case because your body kind of doesn't get the message really hormonally that, hey, you need to be more alert while you're sleeping because there's a baby in the, close to you. So, and I breastfed and pumped with Jamie, and then at the end I was just exclusively pumping. With her, we've been able to get to the point where I'm exclusively breastfeeding. And so that's been really nice because I hate pumping. I hated it when I had to do it with Jameson, and I've had to do it twice since I've had her, and it was strictly because I was starting to get mastitis. Like I was starting to get some kind of infection or something. And so the fastest way to kind of relieve that, in my experience, is to pump until you're empty so you get everything out. And also, if you have a hospital grade pump, like I have a Spectra, then you can turn up the suction. So if you do have a clogged duct, it's gonna get whatever clog is in there out. It's not gonna be, you're not gonna have a hard time because that thing, there's a lot of suction for that. So those are my two things. Even if you're gonna exclusively breastfeed, I would get a hospital grade breast pump, and most insurance cover them. And just make sure that you go see lactation, and you like a lactation consultant, and you know how to use it appropriately. You have the right flange size, because let me tell you right now, if you don't have the right flange size, you're gonna kill yourself. It's gonna hurt a lot, and it's gonna do damage to your nipples. So make sure you have the right flange size, and then that way, if you do start to develop mastitis, you can take care of it really early, like before it develops and turns into a full-blown infection. I've also had to deal with thrush with both of my babies, this one and Jamie Shark. So yeah, I'm gonna do a whole video about breastfeeding and my experience with that, and how all of that went with Jamie and how it's going with her, and also like what you can use and what products I recommend. But yeah, that's kind of how that's going. I'm just kind of rambling today, guys. I don't really have a lot going on. I'm trying to vlog a little bit and show you kind of our day, how it progresses. But yeah, finished unloading the dishwasher. And normally this time of day we would go for a walk, but this is what the weather looks like outside right now. So I think it's supposed to storm most of the day today. I'm not really sure. We got a bird on the fence. Ooh, yeah, see that pretty lightning? Okay. There's some clear sky down there, but yeah, so we probably won't be going for a walk today, so I might try and get you wanna play on the play mat? Yeah? Here, let's take this thing off so then we can roll you over. You ready? Alright, you like to look to the right. We're gonna go this way. Can you turn your head? Turn your head? I'm actually gonna turn you. Why are you turning back that way? Turn this way. Come on. She's like, no, I want to turn that way, Mama. Alright, come here. Look over there. Oh, that's cool, huh? Wow. She keeps like not wanting to turn her head this way, guys. I'm not sure what's going on. Like she can, she just doesn't like it. Here. You watch this? Come on, turn your head. Turn your noggin. Go that way. Look at this one. Alright, you ready? We're gonna roll. We're gonna roll. Ready? Steady. Sometimes she tolerates this and sometimes she does not. Yeah, I think it's time to eat. So, alright guys, we'll see you later. Alright, I'm about to go pick up the Jamie Shark from school. He goes to a mom's day out 2 days a week, and it's only in session while the regular rest of the kids go to school, but I'm just gonna go pick him up real quick and see how his day was. Did you go to chapel? Yeah, you did. You went down the steps by yourself and you held Mommy's hand. Did you get to play on the playground today, or was it too wet? It's not too wet? It was too cold to go play on the playground? Do you like school? Yeah. Do you have fun at school today? That is Buzz Lightyear. You are right. Alright guys, this is how our dinner turned out. The roast actually just fell off that bone when I opened up the crock pot. But if you like this video, please feel free to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.